Okay, so now the next problem is that it says that an express train takes 1 hour less than a passenger train to travel 130 kilometers between two stations A and B. If the average speed of the express train is 11 kilometers per hour, more than that of the passenger train, find the average speed of each train. So average speed, we have to assume that the speed is going to remain constant or uniform speed. Okay, so this is one assumption that's implied in such questions. Otherwise, you will not be able to solve it. Now we have to find the average speed of the train. So let let the average speed of any of the trains you can take of express train be x kilometers per hour. Okay, this is what we need to find out. So we have assumed it to be x. Now what does it say? The distance in both the cases, distance is how much? 132 kilometers. Now the time taken by express train is how much? It will be how much? You can find it out by distance by speed. So distance is 132 and the speed is x. Similarly, the time taken by passenger train will be, the distance remains the same in both the cases, but the speed for passenger train would be what? Speed for passenger train would be 11 kilometers per hour less, since the average speed of express train is 11 kilometers per hour more. So for the passenger train it will be x minus 11. If you had assumed the average speed of passenger train as x, then the average speed of express train would have been x plus 11. So this is what it will be, and it's given that the time taken, the difference in time of these two is 1 hour, and which is taking more time? The passenger train. So according to question, 132 by x minus 11 minus 132 by x is equal to 1. The difference in the times taken by both of them is 1 hour, and obviously the passenger train is slower. That's what it says. It says that the express train takes 1 hour less. So the time taken by passenger train would be more. So you take the difference between the time taken by the passenger train and the time taken by the express train. तो इन दोनों को आप subtract करेंगे तो आपको 1 मिलेगा. Now the next step is 132 can be taken as common, and what do you have? We have 1 by x minus 11 minus 1 by x equal to 1. इसको अब हम लोग अगर सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे तो क्या आएगा? नेक्स्ट स्टेप में 132 और एलसीएम ले लिया तो x माइनस x प्लस 11 डिवाइडेड बाय x इंटू x माइनस 11 is equal to 1. यहाँ पर the x gets cancelled out, so you have 132 into 11 is equal to x square minus 11x. तो फाइनल इक्वेशन क्या बन रहा? x square minus 11x minus 132 into 11 equal to 0. This is what the equation is. Now you have to solve it. तो solve करने के लिए हम लोग again we can use the quadratic formula, और उसमें क्या था? Minus b plus minus root over b square, that's 11 square plus 4 into 132 into 11. This is what you are getting in the square root divided by 2a is 2. And what do you have now? You have 11 plus minus root over. How much is this? 11 square को भी मैं ऐसे ही रहने देता हूँ. You have 2 square. 132 is how much? 120. 12 times 11. So you have 11 square. 132 is 11 into 12, and there is another 11, so it will become 11 square and 12 will be there. I'm just trying to avoid calculating the value and checking out if something can be taken common. So 11 can be taken out because 11 square would be common, and you take it outside the square root, so it will become 11. And you have 1 plus 12 into 4 is 48 divided by 2. So yes, you have a simple value. You have 49 square root is 7. So 11 into 7 is 77, and you get the two values. The two values will be what? 88 divided by 2, that's going to be 44, and the second one will be minus 33. But we have taken the average speed. So average speed is total distance by total time. So it can never be negative. Hence, you have to reject the value minus 33, and the only possible value of x would be 44. Hence, the speed of express train is going to be, the express train is going to be 44 kilometers per hour. The speed of express train is going to be 44 kilometers per hour, and the speed of the passenger train is going to be 11 less, that is 33 kilometers per hour. So this is the passenger train and this is the express train. So this is how you find out the value of average speed of the two trains. Most of the questions in quadratic equation word problems related to time distance would be solved in this way. So some questions you'll be asked the speed, in some questions you'll be asked the time, in others you'll be asked the distance, but the method will be similar. You have to assume the speed or whatever you have to calculate as x based on the information, other information that's given. You have to compare and form an equation. Again, here also we formed an equation, right? We manipulated it to form a quadratic equation, and hence there was a chance that an extraneous root could creep in, and this is what we got. We in fact got an extraneous root. Extraneous root we did get, and we figured it out because it came out to be negative. So the average speed cannot be negative, as its formula is total distance by total time, and it cannot be a negative value. So this is how you solve this question. Okay, so this question says that there is a motorboat whose speed in still water is 18 kilometers per hour, and it takes 1 hour more to go 24 kilometers upstream than to return downstream to the same spot. Find the speed of the stream. So this is what we need to find. So since we have to find the speed of stream, we will have to assume it to be equal to x kilometers per hour. So let the speed of stream be x kilometers per hour. Now, do you guys know about what upstream and downstream is? Let's just revisit, or if you have not done, I'll just revisit, and if you have not done, we'll just understand it, and if you have already done it, then it will just serve you as a recap. So what is upstream? Suppose there is a river in which there is a boat. If the river is flowing this side with a speed of Vr, and the boat is going in opposite direction with a speed Vb, then in case of an upstream, the effective speed of boat is going to be Vb minus Vr, because it goes ahead with a speed of Vb, but it gets pushed back by the river at a speed that is flowing at a speed of Vr. So the effective speed of the boat in case of moving water in upstream cases Vb minus Vr. Upstream is when you are moving against the current. So in that case it will be Vb minus Vr. Similarly, in case of downstream, as the name suggests, it will be exactly opposite to what upstream is. So you have the river flowing in this direction at Vr, and the boat also goes in the same direction. In this case, the effective speed of the boat is going to be Vb plus Vr. This is the case of downstream. And the third case is still water. Still water is the case when the river water is stagnant, it's not moving, and the boat is moving in any direction. So effective speed of the boat is the actual speed of the boat. So these are the three cases that you must know of, and we will be using it right here. So we have to find the speed of the stream, that is Vr. Okay. So that we have assumed to be x. And here the distance it says is 24 kilometers. So the distance or the length in which the boat travels is 24 kilometers. Now it says that the motor boat speed in still water is 18 kilometers per hour. That means speed of boat, the actual speed of boat is going to be 18 kilometers per hour. Why? Because in still water, the effective speed is actually the speed of the boat. So the effective speed is 18 kilometers per hour it's given, so it will be equal to the speed of the boat, and hence the speed of the boat is taken as 18 kilometers per hour. Now let's find out the time for upstream travel, TU. It will be distance divided by speed. So in case of upstream, what is going to be the speed? Effective speed is going to be VB minus VR. VB is 18 in our case, minus VR is the river. Similarly, T downstream is going to be distance divided by VB plus VR. So TU and TD are going to be these values, and it's given that the time taken in upstream travel is 1 hour more. So TU minus TD is 1, which means that 24 by 18 minus x minus 24 by 18 plus x is equal to 1. Now we just need to simplify this. So you have 24 here and you take the LCM. We have 18 plus x minus 18 plus x. 18 plus x into 18 minus x. Since we have used the smaller bracket here, we'll convert it into the square bracket, and you have 1 here. So you have 24, 18 and 18 would cancel out, so you have into 2x is equal to, you take this to the other side, so this is in the form a plus b into a minus b, so 18 square is 3, 2, 4 minus x squared. So you give it standard form, you take it in the standard form, you have x square plus 48x minus 324 equal to 0. And you can solve this using the quadratic formula. So it will be minus 48 plus minus root over b square plus 4 into 324. Why plus? Because the sign of c is negative. So minus 4 into 1 into minus 324 will give you 4 into 324. You have this divided by 2. When you simplify in the square root, you will be getting 3600, and the square root of 3600 is 60. So this is what you get. So now the alpha beta turn out to be 60 minus 48 is 12 by 2, that's 6, and minus 54. So again you have got two values, and when you get two values and you have altered the equation, what do? You guys need to check whether these values are actually feasible or not. What is alpha and beta? Alpha and beta are the values of speed of the stream. So speed of the stream can never be negative, as it is total distance by total time. So this value minus 54 is again rejected, as it is an extraneous value. So the possible value of x equal to 6. So now you can say, therefore, speed of stream is how much? Speed of stream is equal to 6 kilometers per hour. This is how you find this value. So the critical thing to examine in this question or know in this question is, what is upstream, what is downstream, and what is still water. So upstream is when the boat goes against the current, downstream is when it goes with the current, and still water is when the water is not flowing. In case of upstream, the effective speed of the boat is going to be VB minus VR, as the river is going to oppose the flow. In downstream, the effective speed of the boat is going to be VB plus VR, because this river is going to support the flow, support the movement of the boat. And in still water, there is no effect of the river, so the effective speed is actually the speed of the boat. And this concept we use in solving this question. Okay, so now the next question is, a year ago, the father was 8 times as old as his son. Now his age is the square of his son's present age. Find the present ages of father and son. So let the son's age be x years. Generally, we take the smaller value as x if both of them are unknown, because uh, when you take the smaller one as the unknown x, then the other one will be expressed in the form of plus. So plus is always easy to manage than easy to understand than a subtraction. I'll so that's why I have assumed the son's age to be x years and the father's age is equal to, now his age, that is the father's age, is square of his son's age. So this is what the present ages of father and son are. Now 1 year ago, what happened 1 year ago? Son's age will be how much? Son's age will be x minus 1 and father's would be x square minus 1. Okay? Now what does it say? It says, according to question, the father's age, which is x square minus 1, is equal to 8 times the age of son at that time. So the age of son at that time was x minus 1. So this is the equation that we have got. Now x square minus 1 is equal to 8x minus 8, which implies x square minus 8x plus 7 is equal to 0 is the equation. Now this equation can be solved in many ways by the quadratic formula or by the method of factorization. So you have x square minus 7x minus x plus 7 is equal to 0, which implies x common x minus 7 minus 1, x minus 7 is equal to 0. You get x minus 1 into x minus 7 is equal to 0. Therefore, x equal to 1 or x equal to 7. When x equal to 1, the father's age is going to be 1. And when x is equal to 7, the father's age is going to be x square, which is 49. This one is not possible because the father cannot be as old as the son. So this gets eliminated as x is equal to 1 is an extraneous root. And the possible value is x is equal to 49. X square is equal to 49. So the age of the father is going to be 49. And the son's age is going to be, 7 years. And father's age is going to be 49 years. That's going to be the present ages of the father and son. Now coming to the next question, we have a person on tour has rupees 4,200 for his expenses. If he extends his tour for 3 days, he has to cut down his daily expenses by 70. Find the original duration of the tour. So let the original duration be x days. So initially planned for x days and he had total money with him was 4,200. So daily expense would be 4,200 divided by x. Now in the second case it says, in the second case he extends his stay by 3 days. So stay duration second case is x plus 3 days. Total money is still the same. Total money is still the same. So daily expense in this case will be 4,200 divided by x plus 3. What does it say? If he extends his stay for 3 days, he has to cut down his daily expenses by 70. So this daily expense is 70 less than the earlier one. So according to question, you have 4,200 by x minus 4,200 by x plus 3 equal to 7. he has to cut down his expenses. That means it decreases by 70. So this is what the equation is going to be, and now you have to solve it. So you have 4200 as common. You take the LCM and you'll get x plus 3 is equal to 70. It gets cancelled and you have 60 over here. And the x gets cancelled. So you have the equation that you get is cross multiply. So you have 180 is equal to x square plus 3x. You take this to the other side. So the standard form equation you'll be getting is x square plus 3x minus 180 is equal to 0. And you simply have to solve this particular equation. And the two values that you are getting here is minus b plus minus root over b square, that's 9, plus 720 divided by 2a. So you get minus 3 plus minus, what is the square root of 729? It's 27. The square root of 27 is 729. So the values that you get are 27 minus 3 is 24 by 2. So you have 12. And the second one is minus 15. Now the duration cannot be negative. So this one gets rejected. And the possible value that you have for the duration of the stay would be 12 days. So this is what you get. So the original duration will be x, that is 12 days. So this is the acceptable answer to us. Okay. Now, another important topic that's not stated in the NCERT syllabus, but we need to know about is sum and product of roots. We studied this in the chapter on polynomials when we took up the sum and product of zeros. Similar is the case here. So you have a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, whose roots are alpha and beta. Then alpha plus beta is going to be minus b by a, and alpha into beta is going to be c by a. How did we come to this? You know from the quadratic formula that the roots are this by 2a, which is minus b by 2a plus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a, and the second root that you have is beta is equal to minus b by 2a, similar to the case that we discussed above. In place of plus here you have a minus. So these are the two roots that you get. Now you simply add alpha and beta. Alpha, you could take alpha as this particular root and beta as this. It's just a symbolic representation. So I could take alpha as anything and beta as any one of these two. So alpha plus beta, you'll get this term gets cancelled out. And what you get is 2 times minus b by 2a, which is minus b by a. And similarly, if you find out what alpha into beta is, you take the product of these two and you will end up getting c by a. You need to simplify and check it out. So we need to know the final result, and it is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and alpha into beta is equal to c by a, given the standard form of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now we'll be using these results to solve a few questions. Okay, so this question you have sine alpha and cos alpha. In this question you have, if sine alpha and cos alpha are the roots of equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then you have to see which of these conditions is true. So for this, let me first take up the pen. And now you have the given equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. And the roots are sine alpha and cos alpha. So sine alpha plus cos alpha is going to be minus b by a, because alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Sum of roots is minus b by a. And the product of roots, that is sine alpha into cos alpha, is c by a, because we have alpha into beta is equal to c by a. Now, we know that, or let's take the square of this. Why we take the square? Because another identity, trigonometrical identity that we know of is that sine square alpha plus cos square alpha is 1. So we are going to use that. That's why I took the square of this. Now you have sine alpha plus cos alpha whole square. So you have minus b by a whole square is equal to, instead of sine square alpha plus cos square alpha, I can simply write 1. We have 2 into sine alpha cos alpha is c by a. So you have b square by a square is equal to, you take a here, you have a plus 2c. One of the a's gets cancelled. You can cancel a because a is not 0. It's a quadratic equation. So you have b square is equal to a into a plus 2c. Take this to the other side. And then you get b square is equal to a square plus 2ac. Alright. So now you get, this is what you get now. Now in the results we see that we have b square plus c square or b square minus c square. But in the left hand side we just have a b square. We don't have a c square. So we simply add a c square to both sides. It is not going to change the equation. So what it leads to is that b square plus c square is equal to a plus c whole square. What I did was, on both sides of the equation I added a c square. So it will not affect the equation effectively because the c square gets cancelled out. But what we see here is the right hand side gets transformed into a plus c whole square and the left hand side becomes b square plus c square. So in the options that are given, the A option gets satisfied. So this is something that has already been satisfied. Let's check what b square minus c square it would be. We cannot do a minus c square because the identity is of a square plus c square plus 2ac or a square plus c square minus 2ac. So if we subtract minus c square here in the given equation here, we are not going to lead to anywhere. We are not going to proceed any further because this will not be an identity. The identity is a square plus c square plus 2ac or a square plus c square minus 2ac. There is no identity like a square minus c square plus 2ac. So adding or subtracting minus c square is not going to help us. So the answer, the option A is going to be the correct answer in this particular question. Now, in this question, it says that if the roots of equation x square plus ax plus 12 is equal to 0 are in the ratio 1 is to 3, then a is equal to what? Now, you have been given that the equation is x square plus ax plus 12 is equal to 0. Now, the roots of the equation are in the ratio 1 is to 3. So, if one root is alpha, the other root is going to be 3 alpha because the ratio is given as 1 is to 3. So, if you assume 1 as alpha, the other has to be 3 alpha. Now from the sum and product of roots we have alpha plus 3 alpha. That the sum of the roots will be minus a from the given equation and the product of roots will be alpha into 3 alpha and will be 12. So you have 3 alpha square is equal to 12, which implies alpha square is equal to 4. Therefore alpha is equal to, it will take two values, minus 2 and 2. So and from this result you have 4 alpha is equal to minus a. So when alpha is equal to minus 2, then a equal to minus 4 alpha, that is minus 4 into minus 2, that is equal to 8. Since minus a is equal to 4 alpha, therefore a will be equal to 4 alpha, right? So you have, when alpha is equal to minus 2, a is going to be 8, and when alpha is equal to 2, a is equal to 4, here will be minus 4. So A will be minus 4 alpha, that's minus 4 into 2, that is equal to minus 8. So the possible values that we get here are plus minus 8. So this is how you solve the questions related to sum and product of roots. Let's take a miscellaneous problem. This is actually given in the exemplar problems, and since we have time, so we will take this question. What it says is that alpha and beta are the roots of the equation. So there is an equation x square plus px plus q is equal to 0 and its roots are alpha and beta. When alpha and beta are roots, then they satisfy the given equation. Therefore, we also know that alpha square plus p alpha plus q is going to be 0 and similarly beta square plus p beta plus q is going to be 0. Why? Because both alpha and beta are roots of the equation and hence they will satisfy the equation. Now, it is also given that Vn is alpha n plus beta n. So where n is any number, any. So how do we find V5? V5 will be, in place of n we have placed 5. So it will be, it's actually not in the subscript, it's at the superscript. There's just an error over here. So it will not be in the subscript, it's going to be in the superscript. So this is what it is. The question is this. So there's a misprint in the question. Vn is equal to Vn in the subscript is equal to alpha to the power n plus beta to the power n. This is what it is. So you have V5 is alpha to the power 5 plus beta to the power 5. Similarly, V4 will be alpha to the power 4 plus beta to the power 4. And V3 is going to be alpha to the power 3 plus beta to the power 3. Now what do we have to find? We have to find V5 plus PV4 plus QV3. And what is this? It's going to be alpha 5 plus beta 5 plus P into alpha 4 plus beta 4 plus Q into alpha Q plus beta Q. Let's simplify it further. So you have alpha 5. Let's take the alpha terms together and the beta terms together. So you have the alpha terms in one place and the beta terms at the just next to it. So you have beta 5 plus P beta 4 plus Q beta Q. In the first bracket you have alpha cube as common. So you get alpha square plus P alpha square plus Q. Sorry, this will be Q. And you have beta cube as common here. So you have beta square plus P beta plus Q. Here you take alpha cube common and here you take beta cube common. And what do we have? Alpha square plus P alpha plus Q is 0. Why? Because alpha is a root of this equation. Hence this will be equal to 0. Similarly, beta is also a root. So beta square plus P beta plus Q is 0. Hence this value will also become 0. So what you get is alpha cube into 0 plus beta cube into 0, and that is going to be 0. So the value of V5 plus PV4 plus QV3 is going to be 0. And there was just a misprint over here in the question. So the n in alpha and beta is not in the subscript, it is in the superscript in the original question. So this is how you solve this particular question. This question is there in your exemplar, NCERT exemplar books. There are many more questions. So if you get the time, you must also attempt the questions in the exemplar. And any doubts, you can just proceed and we will discuss it in the next class, which is the doubt class, where we'll be taking up the questions. So don't forget to post your questions in the doubt section. Don't forget to post your questions in the doubt section so that they can be easily taken. It is a common class. So based on the serial order in which the questions are put up, I'll be taking them up. And in case there is time left for us, we can chat up and we can also have a few questions taken live. Okay, so I hope you got the lesson. Attempt the assignments, revisit the lecture if you want to, and in case of any problem in any concept, I'm always there to help you out. Okay, so have a good day and enjoy your day. Bye.